How you doing, guys and gals? This is Doug Wilson from Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex. We're still up here on the mountain. We're getting ready to go do some shooting. And my buddy John.
Hi, guys and gals.
And Raven. Come here, Raven. There's Raven. All right. Okay. I want to do a video on the MSR Mountain Safety Research Reactor Stove. Okay. But before I do that, I want to talk about something that I did yesterday. I shot a video on feather sticking, and just my 2 cents on feather sticking. One thing I did not mention, okay, when you're going to gather your wood for feather sticking, okay, you're looking for the best wood possible to get nice wispy feathers so that you can actually start a fire with them, okay? That's their intended use. The intended use for a feather stick is to help you start a fire, especially in inclement weather, okay? The wood you're looking for generally is going to be dead standing, okay? That means you're walking through the bush. You see, I'm going to use white pine as an example. You see a white pine leaning up against another white pine, okay? And it's been dead for a while. That's what you're looking for, okay? That tree. That's the wood you're going to use for your feather sticking. Now, that's pretty much across the board, all species, dead standing. If it's near the ground, but laying on a log or something, that's still dead standing. It's up off the ground, okay? If you go for wood that's been on the ground for a while, chances are it's going to be wet inside and out. Chances are. Or at least damp, okay? So that's why we always go for that dead standing wood for feather sticks. The other thing is, there's all varying degrees of decomposition, all right, with wood, okay? Yesterday I was using beech because that's about the only wood up here that feather sticks well for me, okay? Other guys may feel the same way, but, beech feather sticks well, okay? Up here, I did a couple of test runs with several species of wood. Beech did the best, okay? It feather sticks pretty damn well. All right, but I took the stuff that was dead standing that still had the bark on it. I noticed the stuff that did not have the bark on it, that was starting to decompose and get punky, does not feather stick well, okay? So you're looking for the right species of wood that feather sticks well at the right rate of decomposition, okay? That's something you're just going to have to practice, all right? So I wanted to throw that in about that video yesterday. Okay. On to the MSR Reactor Stove, okay? Here's the MSR Reactor. It comes with a burner unit, this little towel, and a pot. It comes in 1 liter, 1.5, and 2 liter pots, okay? They're fairly expensive. This one was about $170, okay? But for a guy like me who comes out into the bush a lot, I'm okay with spending that for something that's going to cook my food, okay, and be reliable. I've had this stove in minus 20-degree temps, and I'll get to that, how I did that, okay, because canister stoves traditionally do not do well in the bush in the winter time, okay. Anywhere below 35 degrees, they don't do very well because those canisters are pressurized and the cold affects them, okay? Just decreases the pressure in the canister, and then it doesn't want to work very well. You got to keep that canister warm, and I'll show you how, okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do. I got a timer here, all right? Got my 1 liter pot. Here's the timer. I'm going to put some cold water in here, all right? This water is frozen, just about. I mean, it's got ice in it, okay? I'm going to fill it up to the 1 liter mark, all right? Now, that's a lot of water to be doing a boil test with. Most guys use like 8, maybe 16 ounces, all right? This is a whole liter, okay? So, here, the first thing you do, let me get it so you can actually see it, all right? Move the pot out of the way, all right? You just screw the base onto your canister, okay? You screw the burner assembly onto your canister firmly, not too tight, All right. Turn open the valve until it's hissing and it's lit, okay? Now what you're looking for in this stove is you want this thing to glow, okay? You want it to glow red. Sometimes it takes a little bit for that to do that, okay? Sometimes what I'll do is I'll put the pot on there for just, 30 seconds or so to keep the heat in so that it can start glowing red, because it has to heat up, okay? The stove has to heat up. All right. Now I've got this windscreen, and I built it from 2 MSR windscreens. Windscreens from the Whisper Light International. It's a stove that MSR makes. I took 2 of those windscreens and I made a windscreen for this system. Okay? And what this windscreen does is it holds the heat in. Okay? Now I'm going to try to get this thing to glow red for you guys. Let's check it again. All right, that's what you're looking for right there. Okay? All right, so let's hit the timer. Let's put our lid on. You always want to put a lid on the water. All right, we're going to hit our timer. We're going to start it. All right, now we can add 15 or 20 seconds to this. But now, here's the other thing I want to show you guys, okay? This stove here is the one I used to use, okay? This is called an Optimus Crux, okay? It used to be made by Brunton until Optimus bought Brunton out, okay? This stove, all right, although it does come with this assembly, with the fins on it, the MSR reactor has fins just like this. It's called a heat exchanger, okay? That increases the surface area of the metal. When the heat hits it, all this metal heats up and in turn heats the water, okay? So it's a much more efficient style of stove, okay? Most stoves on the market, most canister stoves are like this. Okay? Most canister stoves are like this. You have all this area here that's exposed to the wind, to the elements. Okay? When you put your pot on top of it, you're losing a bunch of heat. Okay? So what the MSR reactor does is it gives you fins, but it encloses the whole area inside the flame, so that the flame never touches the air. You can see it, see? That makes this stove highly efficient in boil time and fuel consumption, okay? So you can hear it starting to hiss now. Now the whole time this windscreen is holding the heat in, okay? And keeping that bottle warm so it doesn't freeze, okay? That's the trick to this system, okay? In order to use a canister stove in the winter, you have to have some type of windscreen that keeps the heat in. Now this is my design. I came up with this design, but it may not be the safest for all people who aren't watching it, because you can build up so much heat in here, all right, that it might explode that canister. So I don't advocate you using it unless you really watch it. I always keep it open like this because it gets hot in there real quick. I always put my hand in there to make sure there's not too much heat. Okay? Now it's starting to boil now, and we're at 2 minutes 45 seconds. It's 30 degrees out here. All right. Give you a look. All right, it's starting to boil now. See the bubbles? And that's 1 liter of water. Like I said, that's a lot for a boil time test. All right, let's look at it. 3 minutes, 30 seconds, and it's boiling. Okay? 3 minutes, 30 seconds in 30-degree temperatures. That's pretty good. I mean, that's real good. All right? All right, guys. That was the MSR Reactor Stove. They're a little pricey, about 180 bucks. Like I said, CFK up in Oregon, they bought me this stove for Christmas last year. I wanted to try it out. It is the finest stove I've ever used. Okay, it's not too heavy. I mean, the whole stove itself weighs like I don't know, pot and the burner weighs about 10 ounces, 12 ounces, something like that. Okay, it's a titanium pot. All right, guys, so that's it. This is Doug Wilson from Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Trying to build that channel. Have a good day.